grab.
Welcome to Round the Hay Bale. Hey, y'all, Hey Radio Show. I'm Monica from Bland's Promised Land Ranch.
And this is Sandy with Suburban Homesteader, Wyoming, Arizona.
Hello, everyone. This is Casey over at Ormsby Farms.
And I'm Ann with Andale Homestead. We're so tickled to have you in here tonight. Now, when we thought about the subject for tonight, it obviously correlates and corresponds with our podcast that came out yesterday morning. And it's talking about being green with envy, turning a little green over here. I have said that a number of times that, gosh, that makes me a little green over here in the corner. I'm not happy about that. Oops. Okay, Monica will be back in just 2 seconds. And so if you're watching us now, we're thrilled to have you here. What we want is your comments of what you think about our particular subject tonight. Now, the thing that got me thinking about being green with envy or concerned is being a gardener and starting things. All my favorite people start everything from seed. Now, I am a seedaholic. I have seeds out the Watusi. But I start a lot of my things with starts, which makes me feel a little lesser than. But I'm not lesser than. And so we're getting started in showing that just because YouTube does it doesn't mean that we can't do something similar, but in our own way. So, Sandy, how do you feel about that? And then I'm going to say hey to everybody once you tell us how you feel about being green with envy.
Well, I think it just is a good reminder to us that we need to shake off that social media guilt.
That's
you
right.
know, we think, let's just shake it off. Because we think we have to keep up with the Joneses. Every channel has to be 100,000, has to have 1 million views. It has to have all these things. But it's just simply not true. And
That's
we
right.
have to do things to make us happy.
We do. Yeah.
Yeah.
We do have to do things that make us happy, that make our lives happier. And as Sandy says to us all the time, we need to break it down and understand. We could take the little pieces of it and go, is that for me? Or can I do a version of that that is all mine? So wanted to say hello to some people that are in the chat. We really appreciate you being here. Hello, everybody. That's my security blanket right there, Jesse and Lisa from Lazy Days Ahead. Hi, Jarrett Talks. I was a guest on his show last week, or a couple of weeks ago. That was wonderful. Rebecca, Touched by Yarn. Such a blessing to everyone in our area. Cynthia Delott, all the way from the Netherlands. We're so glad to have you here. Hey, Penny Ortiz. It is wonderful to see you. Thank you for being here. Such a sweet lady. Teresa Jukowitz. I just adore that hat that you have in your profile picture. And Troy Sutton, how do, baby? How do? I'm so glad you're here. U.S. Freedom 5. Well, I'm thrilled that you are here. She said she's thrilled to be here, and we're thrilled to have you here. So thank you so much, everyone, for being here.
Can I just say a funny story real fast, Ann?
Yes, please.
Since you were going through all of the different names. We talked about this the other night, but I wanted to say another kind of thank you to Penny, who left me such a sweet, sweet comment on one of my, for those that don't know, I was on a reality show before I was a YouTuber. Speaking of social medias and how fake everything is,
yes.
I really appreciated Penny's message that she left on one of my episodes, but I do have to admit out loud that reality shows are fake. I want people to know that. Most of it is scripted. Most of it, you have producers that say, hey, Casey, this is what you're doing. This is what you need to talk about. But I just wanted to put it out there and tell this funny story that I really do appreciate, Penny, that comment. That was very sweet. It meant a lot to me to see that comment. So thank you. So
That's good.
back to social media stuff.
Well, and that is a lesson for us all to learn from you because we're among a star, y'all, with Casey over here. And we just don't know. You think it looks real.
Mhm.
And then we're thinking we're comparing our lives to them. And it's not. And it's scripted, but there's really good actors. Hey, Desert Goat, so glad to have you here
Well,
tonight.
it's the same thing, and with the homesteading channels that you love, you know,
Absolutely.
compare. That's one of the things that we talked about in this podcast is comparing yourself to other YouTubers, and what you see on in YouTube land. You may think, "Oh my gosh, Monica and Eric and her family are so perfect and amazing."
Yes.
You don't really know what's going on behind the scenes, and you can't always judge and try to be exactly like a certain person because what works for Monica and Eric may not work for Sandy and Joe. It may not work for Worth and Ann.
That's right.
So that's one of our big reasons for doing this episode is that you need to do social media the way that you are
Be
meant to do
true to
social
you.
media.
That's right. That's right. So, Monica, how do you feel about this green with envy? You doing you.
I think it's more than just social media though, right? I mean, you can let social media run how you run your life if you're not careful. And, a lot of the people that are here in our chat probably aren't necessarily YouTubers that make lots of money. I don't think any of us really are YouTubers that make lots of money. But
Well, maybe not on this panel. But
no, but like our social media doesn't unfortunately our social media sometimes rules our lives when it shouldn't. And we can let the guilt maybe of not doing things and staying up to par with everyone else on social media make us feel like we're less than, especially gardening season. That's usually when it gets me. I'm fine the rest of the time. I could care less what other people are doing. I'm doing me, I'm doing my stuff. We're beyond perfect. Yeah, right. But this season really gets me. I see everybody's gorgeous plants and the starts and the beautiful, like all the just the greenhouses are going, and like my greenhouse is inundated with ants right now, and I'm battling trying to just get things cleaned out and moved around and made room, and I've still got to get new fencing up in my garden, and my starts are a little straggly, and
right.
it's really easy for me to fall into that. Oh my gosh, I'm behind. And when I start thinking that and I start becoming that person that's immediately comparing myself to other people, now it's affecting the people that are around me because now I'm like, oh, I'm behind. We need to do this, Eric. And Eric needs to do this now. And my kids need to help me with this. And I need to do this. And now it's really a trickle down effect. And it doesn't just hit me, it hits everyone else. And I
It
think that's
does.
really important to remember that sometimes when you start becoming a little envious or jealous or start really trying to let other people rule what you're doing
Mhm.
from that competition level, then it really can affect a lot of people around you and what you're doing. So,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that's kind of how I'm feeling about it right now because I'm in a spot where I need people to help me this time instead of me being able to do some of the things that I want. So,
That's right. That's right. Well, it's easy to get there, and I do. My little Tuesday that I do on Tuesday mornings was talking about peace and
She
finding that.
says little, but it really is like one of the huge lives on
yeah,
Tuesday.
it
Like,
is. It is the live. I'm
I,
like off at homeschool co-op trying to like sneak peeks into Anne's live just to show
right.
up and give her a like. I like go off to the side. I'm like, I'll teach you in a minute.
well, I have a lot of fun and a lot of friends that come in to say hi, which is fabulous, and I'm very thankful for that. But the message today was about finding your peace and understanding that letting go of yesterday, letting go of the control that you think you have for tomorrow,
Mhm.
and living in today and being able to have a peaceful resolution with the things that you're going on. Even though there's storms going on all around us all the time, and we can find that inner peace. And everybody shows up for Tuesday, Tuesday. Thank you. Not
Well,
everyone, but
it's really having us be aware to check our emotions.
Mhm.
yes.
Yeah.
That we need to check them and say, why is this making me feel this way?
Hmm.
You know, um, can you do it all? No, not by yourself. Those big channels, They have people they hire that
Right.
are posting on all all the different social medias. They're a lot of times they're answering the comments because there's just too many things to
Mhm.
do for one person or a couple to do,
Yeah.
if their YouTube is together.
That's right.
And so I think you just got to limit when you're looking at all those other things, because if it's making you feel bad, making you feel less than, that can be an issue, because that's not what it was all about. Why did we start our YouTube channels?
Yeah.
We wanted, for me, I wanted to teach people,
Mhm.
and so if I try to start to skirt off in a different direction, I got to pull myself back, because that wasn't my goal. That wasn't my idea of what made me happy, why I
That's right.
started YouTube.
That's
Mhm.
right. And
Casey,
that's
what
one
is
yeah, I'm
oh,
sorry. Go ahead.
I was just going to ask Casey what his hardest thing is, when it comes to social media, being green with envy. What's the hardest?
Paying yourself to do the comments. Um, the the hardest thing I think for me, and we listen, the four of us, we put out great podcasts and we talk a good talk, but sometimes I know for me, I can get into my own head and say the stuff that I'm telling you
Absolutely.
not to do.
Mhm.
And I know the biggest thing for me is judging my channel compared to the three of y'all's channel. Like I will go into the week going, oh, I'm this many, and Sandy has 4 billion times more than me, and Ann has 6 billion more, and Monica has 90 billion more.
Yes.
Um, and then you start beating yourself down. And then the one thing that brings me back is getting the sweet comments.
Yes.
That even when it's just one or two comments, I don't think a lot of subscribers know how much that means to people when because we're the ones that are doing our comments. I don't think I can. I think I can speak for all of us on the panel that none of us hire somebody to do the comments in the videos
Oh
yet.
my gracious. Yeah. Oh.
It's us. And when you pop up your phone and you read a sweet comment from somebody that may have been the only comment on that videos, you don't know what that means to that YouTuber that maybe
Right.
going through something. But to answer your question, the toughest for me is judging in my head. And I talk myself out of it all the time. Casey, you can't judge yourself to all of them, but
Right.
you still do. We're just human. We're just human. We got to give ourselves grace.
Yep.
What about
Yeah.
you, Ann? What's your biggest?
Well, I mean, I
Yeah.
have worked very hard at being who I am, no matter who I'm with,
Yeah.
wherever I am. So I've tried really hard to keep that. Sometimes you want to get into that, I don't know, show level or something
Right.
that it's kind of not. And I'll watch that video and go, oh my gosh, that is delete because that was not me whatsoever. But I or judging almost each one of my videos, I'll go, ugh, I misspoke there. Ugh, I can't. I didn't say it right there. Oh, I should have done that different. Look at that trash in the background, that kind of thing. And instead of my friends that are so incredibly supportive and very, very successful and actually live off of their YouTube income, or social media income, have said, give yourself some grace, girl.
Absolutely.
Be a member of the Close Enough Club. Stop picking your things to pieces and put it out there. So, yeah, I vote for deleting bloopers video from Miss Ann.
Right. That would be
There's
good.
a plenty. There's a plenty. I can tell you. There's a plenty. So, what we do oftentimes in life, at your neighbor's yard, you're looking at your neighbor's yard. You want your yard to be pretty.
Mhm.
You're looking at your friends' cars or homes or clothes or shoes. I mean, this starts in elementary school. And what we're trying to do is encourage you to pull back instead of that green with envy stuff. Pull back and go, you know what? Be a cheerleader for the others and go, way to go, which I am genuinely happy for others. Way to
Mhm.
go. That's awesome. Now let me come over here and do my thing.
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Sandy, what are you thinking about?
Well, I tell you, I'll be real honest. What my greatest fear is with YouTube. My greatest fear is because you know I went very fast. You know,
Good.
I had gone about 9 months and it had pretty much stayed just under 1,000. And then all of a sudden, bam,
Oh,
and it's gone up. My greatest fear is that all of a sudden, they'll just, "Oh, I don't want to listen to her anymore. Let's take her. I'm not going to subscribe to her anymore.
mm,
And it's silly because you get other people that will subscribe to you,
Right.
sure.
but like today, um, all of a sudden I was down like 200 subscribers.
It
Oh,
happens.
And it was like, what?
that's so
For
discouraging.
Yeah.
in 12 hours.
Right.
And sometimes it'll pop back later in a few days. It fixes itself. But
Right.
I don't know I don't know what that is with me that it's hard for me.
Yeah.
Well,
Mhm.
also, Sandy, you have to remember that a lot of that is YouTube too.
Yeah.
I'll be that tinfoil hat person that says, for every like 2 new subscribers, you lose 600
Yeah.
on any of them. I mean, it's just kind of how it is. I think it's just the AI robot that
Yeah. And they're
kind
knocking
of
off
does it.
bots and things like that.
Because your channel's amazing, and I mean, the 200 people that dropped it are just idiots. And
They're
I'll say,
probably just not been watching something. They've been doing their thing and YouTube unsubscribed them. It was probably
yeah,
something completely
mhm,
random. Or they
Mhm.
were gifted memberships and then their memberships were gone and they forgot to resubscribe or something. Who knows? It could have been
That's
something very
right.
simple.
Yeah.
See,
We're
y'all
doing
have
good.
like the way you're comparing it. I have this really internal struggle because we do these videos and lately the most that we've had time for is shorts. We can put out 1 or 2 full-length videos a month. We're trying to get 3 back to 3 again, maybe 4. But with Eric's work schedule, it's been insane. And this season of life lets us do shorts. It's just so much easier for us. And with the
Sure.
almost 3-minute shorts, it makes it even easier because Eric can do a couple little mini shorts. And the shorts that do really well are the ones with his face in them and the ones where he's doing well. And I'm like, oh, cool. So we put out a short that I did and it gets a couple hundred views. We put out a short that you do and it gets to like 1 million. Thanks, cool. And no, I literally will like pout. I like have a little like Monica fit and I'm like, okay, cool. So then like the next day he's like, hey, do you have any shorts for this week? And I'm like, no, it's fine. YouTube would rather you do it anyway. So I'm getting to the point now where I take video and I like send it to him like, here's video for the week if you need footage, but you're going to have to put it together.
you're the producer,
Like,
Monica. I mean, Eric may be the leading dude, but you're executive producer. of
I
what-
am
of
definitely
the
behind the scenes here.
And
But
they make more money, huh?
But that's where I get a little like salty about it. And he's like,
Yeah.
it's fine. And he's like, that's not true. And I'm like, it's totally true. Totally true. Like he puts up a video and it like does super well. And I'm like, you're a stinker. Like, why?
Well,
A video starts out with my face and people are like, ooh.
no. He's got
Oh,
the cows. He's got the
so,
cows. So
yeah.
that's
He's doing more cow stuff. I'm doing more gardening. They're like, we're done with you. Done.
And you never know what is pushed out on YouTube or what
It's true.
a subscriber is going to click on, because
Yeah.
for a while, I mean, Ormsby Farm, our profile picture was myself, my mother, and brother Chris and sis Tara. And when I took that away and just had our logo, we jumped like 1,500 subscribers. So in your mind, you would think, well, they're probably like, God, thank God they're off the picture. But you just
Sometimes
don't
little
know what
changes,
YouTube
you know.
wants, the changes. So
Well, that's
Yeah.
where I have my struggle. That's where I'm like a little salty about it over here and I'm a little envious. And I'm like, seriously, how are you doing this? I'm doing the exact same thing you're doing. And as a matter of fact, the videos that even have my face in them now, I have actually taken the footage and sent it to him. He has put it together and then pushed it out from his phone. Because now I'm like getting all like, it's got to be from your phone. If it's not come from your phone, it's not it. It's totally my brain. I'm like, I'm not doing it. But that's how, you have these struggles and you psych yourself out. And that's not who I
Yeah.
am normally. I'm not normally these people that try to psych myself out. I have too much going on. I don't have time to psych myself out. But that's
Right.
how we do sometimes. We get ourselves in that point where we kind of talk ourselves out of being who we are and the
I
confidence that
I understand. I understand. I have
yeah,
2 really, really good friends that started out we were very even, and, they have caught on and blown up and are able to make a good living off of their social media, and I'm sitting over here in the corner going, "Hello?"
I don't know. I gotta call your bluff, Ann, because you pop into my YouTube a lot, and I'm subscribed to all 4 of us.
Yeah.
And I think YouTube is liking some Ann Dale right now.
yeah, they're
That's
pushing her.
awesome.
The
Good.
shorts, because
Well,
the person you're talking about is Black's Tropical.
yes,
They literally blew
and
up. They're
and,
great.
Cooking at Pam's Place, both of them
Yeah.
are good
See,
friends of
I
mine.
didn't know
Yeah.
much of her until she was already big. I knew her when she was big,
We
but
started out about the same.
oh
Now she
really?
has well over 1,000,000 subscribers, well
Wh-
over 1,000,000.
And with Cherie and Bobby, I mean, I knew them before 1,000,
Yeah,
and you just never know
you
what
never
the
know, and it's not
algorithm is gonna like.
I am
Yeah.
not, uh, you know, it's not a spot where I'm going, "Dang." It's that I am so happy for them and
Yeah.
so thrilled,
Right.
and we are teaming together, and they're giving me hints and clues and things like that, but they work harder than I do, so they should get it because they work really hard at what they're doing. Yeah, YouTube does like to pick,
They do
but
like to pick.
it's okay. I mean, real and I say when somebody says, "Oh, it's okay. I'm okay. I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm fine. Everything's fine." Well, I mean, sometimes it really is okay, and I really am okay with
Yeah.
the way things are going. So it's
I think
Sometimes I'm salty.
Well, I think there's a there's some of that where too it's like how do you battle that? How do you talk yourself off that YouTube
Right.
guilt ledge, or that the ledge of man, I'm not who I thought I was. They are definitely doing better than me. I wish I had this or I wish I could do better. I'm not that good of a gardener. I could never grow like Sandy does or whatever it is. How do you get yourself from being that in that moment and out of those feelings and back into the confidence where you need? And I think a lot of that goes for making sure that you're talk to yourself, remind yourself you have skills,
yeah.
you
Mhm.
have things that you've been given. And for me it definitely is the Lord, and I have to really ask him just to remind me of the things that I am valuable and capable of doing. And usually that's where the Holy Spirit comes in for me and says, hey, check yourself, you're
That's
very
right.
valuable, you can do these things. But there's people that don't understand that or maybe don't have the same faith as I do, and so they're not getting that. But there's still a part of you that's going to remind you that you are capable. You're already at this point. If maybe you're not growing beautiful fruit right now, maybe this is the season where you do other things. Maybe
Mhm.
this is just a different time for you to learn new skills. Maybe you need to focus somewhere else right now and not do those things. So, don't talk them off, Mike, push them off, sink or swim. That's the thing. You can't you need to back up from the ledge for a second and just take a
Yeah.
breath and remember their life, whoever you're looking at and seeing the things, their life is not yours. And you are created for this time and purpose and what you're doing now, and
Mhm.
focus and get in on that, right?
Yeah.
Sandy, anything you can add to that? Because I feel like you always have really good truth knowledge right there, truth bombs to drop on us.
Well,
That's right.
it's one thing to say you have a big YouTube channel, you have a million subscribers, you've got the plaques, you got the stuff, right? Um, but then there's this little channel. It has 4,000. But that little channel, your channel, my channel, whose ever channel, is actually really touching people's lives.
Yeah.
It's changing somebody's life. It's
That's
giving
right.
them knowledge that makes their life easier. It's giving them skills that they never had before. Who has the better channel?
That's right.
You
Right.
Oh,
know,
I have goosebumps. I have
you
goosebumps. That's
you
so
just really
awesome,
have to
Sandy.
think of, okay, what's my purpose? Um, you know, all of us have those weird feelings, or you have the trolls that say stupid things to you. It's
Right.
just part of social media,
Ooh,
you know, and it can
goosebumps.
be tough, especially when you're a new YouTuber. I can really have my heart on my sleeve, you know, and at first that was a tough thing. And
Mhm.
now it's like, oh, you're stupid. Um,
I actually write the mean responses. I type them up. I take a screenshot. I send the mean response to my family, and then I go back and I delete the mean response and say, "Thank you. Have a nice day."
No,
Intentional that way.
I will validate. She does do that because
I
she
send it.
sends it to me. Yeah.
Yeah, I send
Yeah,
them to
like,
Casey.
is this too much? And I'll read it, and me, I'm like, oh,
You're like,
you
"Go
should do
for
one
it,
more
baby."
gig.
Hey,
And I
And
was
I'm
like,
like,
did you ask your husband? 'Cause Eric probably will say no.
yeah. I just write the mean response, and then I'm like, delete. But I do
yeah.
send a picture of it to friends and family so that we can all get a fun joke out of it. But yes, you have to sometimes you have to let that roll off you because it really can be hurtful.
Well,
Yeah.
who among us have not had a text that you wrote out on your phone real quick or an email or something and then went,
yeah,
you delete that right back down.
all of us.
Oh, we have all-
It feels better to do that for a second sometimes. Sometimes you need to get it
Yeah.
out. Just
Or
remember not to hit send. Hit
or
delete.
when you're about to do a video calling people out and you
Yeah.
talk with friends and your friends are like, no,
Stop.
Casey, I wouldn't make that video.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you
who
listen.
would do that?
Mhm.
So
Sorry,
I mean,
Sandy, you can finish what you were saying. I'm
I was
sorry.
about to say, you see soapboxes over here.
No, I just think that, a lot of times we're green with envy with all these things all these other people are doing instead of being okay. Like I talked to my daughter today and she had some good words of wisdom today.
Oh, good.
That she said that if a YouTube channel starts having too many videos and too many shorts, she unsubscribes to them. She says
Huh.
it just inundates her feed and she's not seeing other people that she wants to watch. And she says, I may go back to them after a while, but she says that's just something she does.
Okay.
And she says having one big video a week and then maybe some shorts or a live or something, she's okay with. But when it starts inundating her, and so
Mhm.
that was good words because sometimes you look at other big channels and they're just like every single day it's a short or it's a live or it's a big video
Yeah.
and it's like, that's not my life. I'm
Right.
Mhm.
busy with other things besides
Right.
YouTube.
Yeah. I mean, I do have a friend that is actually was a mentor of mine a little bit. Hey, Nick from AZ Island. I'm glad to see you, the budget preppers, and all the people that are here. Susan. Okay, that's good to know because I do have a friend that was starting to slip a little bit in social media. He has 2 channels and he goes live like 4 times a day, plus videos on both
Wow.
channels, plus shorts, plus stories. It is an obsession, and it's tough. Because I would love to support him, but I can't watch all that stuff. So
Right.
it's like, I'll catch you tomorrow, maybe on something on one of the channels, but not 14 different things all on the
I think
same
we always
day.
go through these seasons of lives or our lives where we can do certain things, and sometimes we're fully capable of being in all the lives and being in all the social media platforms and filling in and putting out the Instagram reels and creating all these things. And then there's seasons where we just can't.
Right.
My kids have flag football right now. Right now, I'm a football mom. I'm out there on the weekends and I'm there during the week. And you know what? Our Thursday night lives are so difficult for us right now. Getting it in the last week was so hard for us because Eric's at football until 7 o'clock. He rolls home at 7:30, and I see him for 5 minutes before we go live. That's
Yeah.
difficult. And
Uh-oh, her
I
internet went out. That's but
I was about to say that may be Eric on the internet. I'm saying like you shall not talk.
right.
there
But
you
for
go.
me, making sure that my kids are my priority is important. So therefore, YouTube channel takes a back seat for a minute.
Well,
That's right.
it's the same thing. The past 2 Mondays, I said I was going back in. I said I'm going to do every Monday live, and nah. And the past 2 Mondays, I've had family visiting or I've had something, and it just became more important to me to have a little bit of quality time instead of
Yeah,
sitting in front of a computer screen, hoping that somebody's going to come in so you can make a cent on a view.
that's
In
right.
You know,
That's
that
right.
kind of stuff. So
Yeah, about 10 cents. Um, anyway, it is so wonderful to have everyone here tonight. It's about our time to wrap things up. I did want to share that each of us at some point or time, and you out there in the audience as well, all of our friends and family that are out here, because we do consider you all our friends and family. We really do. We've all had a time where we've gone, I'm just not going to do this anymore. I'm just going to be a consumer. I'm not going to be a giver. But the relationships that we have built all around is something that I cherish and would never, ever want to go away from. So, you know, there's some pros and some cons, and we love you all for being here. Thank you so much for coming in. Be sure to listen to us next Monday. Our podcast will come out, and that thing is amazing. We had a big time in that podcast. It was a lot of fun, and it's 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central.
10 o'clock Eastern.
Yes.
And we're talking about it's the cost of running a homestead. This is like our next two episodes.
Part 1 and 2.
Part 1 and 2. It's a hot topic.
Yes,
So
Scotty.
we did have a good time recording this one.
We really, and y'all, I don't know. I mean, we enjoy you being here. I love it that we get to talk to each other. Thank you, Scotty. We really do cherish our friends. You do make really connections here, and it was wonderful. Yep. And now we got her back, didn't we, Dorothy? We got her back.
Reeled her in.
So good. We reeled her, took that fishing pole and hooked her and reeled her right back in. So thank you again. It's like saying goodbye, good night to my boyfriend on here. Can't say bye. We love you all. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye now.
Hey, Monica, did you know it's now even easier to listen to Around the Hay Bale podcast?
What? Really? How easy?
That's right. All you have to do is say, Alexa, play Round the Hay Bale podcast.
Playing Round the Hay Bale podcast on Apple Music.
Ooh, we're really fancy now.
Tune in to Round the Hay Bale every Monday at 9 a.m. Central Time.